Hello beautiful people, how's it going? I'm back with another video. I wanted to sincerely apologize to you guys. This movie got delayed in the United Arab Emirates for so long, but we finally got it, and here is my review of Barbie. Barbie is directed by Greta Gerwig and stars Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling as the world-famous toys that took the world by storm in the 1960s and have continued to do so while gaining a whole lot of controversy throughout the years. And Greta Gerwig, as a director, has done some fabulous work in the past, but in my opinion, this is by far her strongest film. I know what you guys are gonna tell me. I knew you were gonna like this movie from the second they announced it. That's actually not true. I was really excited for this film, but I was also very cautious because I've seen films that have been based on IPs fall flat entirely, and one of them was the Super Mario Brothers movie, which I liked but didn't stick with me even though I am such a big Super Mario fan. And this movie really made me ponder as to why the Super Mario Brothers movie didn't stick with me while this movie did. And I think it's clear to say the reason that Barbie sticks with you once you leave the theater is simply because the movie has a message to tell, and it tells it, in my opinion, in a really good way. Now, of course, this is a non-spoiler review, but I do really want to do a spoiler review once I see the movie again on Sunday, because I have a lot of things that I would like to talk about that are full-on spoilers. But if you haven't seen this movie, in my non-spoiler review, I'm going to give you the gist of it. You should. I have adored Margot Robbie in almost every single film I've seen her in, and off the top of my head, The Wolf of Wall Street was a really great film. I, Tonya was also a really great film. Her movie with Charlize Theron and Nicole Kidman, Bombshell, was also really fantastic. And then to top all of that off, she has become one of my favorite superhero characters of all time, Harley Quinn. And so with all of that knowledge, for me to say that Barbie might be Margot Robbie's most iconic role, it's definitely her most successful, is saying something, because I truly believe Margot Robbie is one of the greatest actresses of our generation. She so wonderfully captures Barbie's innocence, but also her dreams and her passions, and you root for her throughout this movie. But I'm not gonna beat around the bush with you guys. You guys all know who the star of the movie is, and that is our Ryan Gosling as Ken. You guys may think that this movie is all about Barbie, but in my opinion, it is just as much about Ken and his exploration of his identity and figuring out who he is. Now, without going into any spoilers, I can say that this is by far Ryan Gosling's most funniest role. The comedic timing that he has just lands every single time. I was rolling with laughter throughout the entire time. And it was so enjoyable to see an actor of his caliber take on a role that's so inherently stupid and make it something actually worthwhile and something so poignant and emotional and gripping. Aside from the excellent acting, I will say Greta Gerwig as a director does such a good job of not only creating the world of Barbie, but actually giving you such a touching message about what it is to be a woman in real life. And I think it's so wonderful because you start to mentally make comparisons between what Barbie Land is like for Barbies in Barbie world and what it is like in our world for not only women, but just people in general. I also would like to say that this movie really surprised me on the aspect of what it means to be a mother. Now, again, without going into a lot of spoilers, that theme is really heavy in the film, and I love my mother. And I really appreciate her. And so that message really worked well for me, and it really impacted me, even though I am a guy. I also really think that Greta Gerwig shines with this movie in terms of directing. Some of the shots that they choose to use, also the production design of the film is absolutely phenomenal. It's such a joy to look at visually. Even though it's all pink and glamorous, it's so comfy because you know that it's about a toy, and I'm a person who loves toys, as you can see. And so having a movie like this that honors toys in a way is so wonderful to see, and that's why I feel like this is a movie that I will want to watch over and over again. The repeated viewings of it is just probably off the charts. It's because it reminds you of what it feels like to be a kid and to play with a toy, and I think that is one of my favorite things in the whole world, that and movies. So it's just a perfect combination for me. I also wholeheartedly would like to address how amazing Greta Gerwig handles the emotional beats while also remaining true to the movie's comedic nature. The emotions of the film had me and my movie partner just bawling our eyes out, and it was so wonderful to see because we were both sharing this intimate moment of just appreciation for not only one another, but for life itself. And this is all from a movie about a doll. It was just really amazing, and my love and respect for Greta Gerwig just went up times 1,000 after this. I also really think it's important to note the score of this movie is so fantastic. Not just the score as in the soundtrack, but also the tracks made by famous singers for this film. And the way Greta Gerwig weaves, for example, without spoiling, but instrumentals of important tracks throughout the film, so that later, once you finally hear the song, everything clicks into place and you understand what the director has been trying to say this entire time. I haven't seen music used in this way, and I don't mean a score, I mean a soundtrack for a movie, used this way that actually gives it importance and meaning, I don't think in years. I can't even actually imagine the last time I heard something like that. I've heard amazing scores. Oppenheimer had one of the greatest scores that I've ever heard in cinema. But this was something special because it used tracks made for movies by famous singers. I'm just gonna say it, it's the Billie Eilish song. I mean, wow! This soundtrack is an absolute phenomenon. And yes, I got it on vinyl, to put in my vinyl collection. But I love this album, and I've been listening to it nonstop on repeat. And it is something I should mention because that is all a part of the movie package. In terms of the controversy, all I'll say is, if you love your mom, if you love your sisters, if you love your girlfriend, if you love your wife, if you have any sort of love and respect for them, I think you can find a lot of appreciation in this movie. And I definitely think that this movie does not just apply to women. Of course not. I mean, that box office isn't just solely women. I do think it's a balance. And I think it's really cute that men are taking their partners with them. I think that's really nice. I would also hugely like to mention the marketing campaign for this movie. I was going to make an entire video on it as a whole, and I think I will, because it's the best marketing for a movie that I've ever seen in my entire life. Warner Brothers invested so much in that marketing campaign, and it paid off because the movie just passed $1 billion. And honestly, I'm beyond happy for them because Warner Brothers needs a win right now. I just wish that the movie wasn't delayed so long here because, I wanted to be a part of the Barbenheimer phenomenon, but unfortunately I didn't get to do that. But I can still do it if I wanted to. I can still go see Barbie and Oppenheimer on the same day. I just need motivation to do that because I don't think I'd sit through Oppenheimer again. I loved Barbie. I think it's a great movie. It's a solid 10 out of 10 for me. I just loved it. It's a movie that I know I'm going to watch over and over and over again, and I can't wait to discuss spoilers with you all. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.